Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn the second feature of democracy. In the previous video, we learned about the first feature of democracy. In that video, we learned that the power must be enjoyed by the elected leaders and all the powers must be in the hands of elected leaders. And they should work according to the wishes of the people. In the second feature, we will learn about that free and fair electoral competition should be held. As you know that in China, elections are regularly held after every 5 years for electing the country's parliament, and it is called National People's Congress in our language. The National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country. It has nearly 3,000 members elected from all over China. Some members are elected by the army. Before contesting elections, a candidate needs the approval of Chinese Communist Party. Only those who are the members of the Chinese Communist Party or 8 smaller parties allied to it were allowed to contest elections held in 2002 2003. The government is always formed by the Communist Party. Since its independence in 1930, Mexico holds election after every 6 years to elect its president. The country has ever been under a military or dictator's rule. But until 2000, every election was won by a party called PRI, Institutional Revolutionary Party. Let's first of all we discuss about China. What is happening in China? In China, elections are regularly held. That it doesn't mean that free and fair. It doesn't mean that regularly elections are being held. So that then we can call that country a democratic country. In this way, we cannot call a country that is organizing elections regularly. That cannot be called a democratic country. In China, also elections are held, but what is happening there? And the National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country. One thing is that only the National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country, and it has nearly 3,000 members elected from all over China. And some members are elected by the army. Means before contesting election, all candidates need the approval of the Chinese Communist Party. Only those who are the members of Chinese Communist Party or 8 smaller parties allied to it were allowed to contest elections. Means other people have no right to contest elections. Means those who are the members of these Chinese Communist Party are allowed to contest election, and others are not given this opportunities. So can we call it a democratic country? We cannot call it a democratic country, because in democracy all the people have right to contest the election and to get elected. But what is happening in China? In China, they are organizing elections, and elections are held after every 5 years. But that elections cannot be called a democratic elections, because only the members belonging to Chinese Communist Party have right to contest the elections, or the 8 small allied members or small parties, those who are allied to this Chinese Communist Party, have right to contest election. Means other parties or others members do not have right to contest election, so it cannot be called a democratic country. The second example we take from Mexico. In first example we explained about China, and in the second we are going to discuss about Mexico. What is happening in Mexico since its independence in 1930? Means in 1930 Mexico got its independence, and after every 6 years elections are held to elect its president. Means the country has never been under a military or dictator's rule. Means कभी भी ये देश ना तो किसी मिलिट्री और ना ही डिक्टेटर के शासन के अधीन रहा. But until 2000, every election was won by a PRI party called PRI, Institutional Revolutionary Party. Its name is Institutional Revolutionary Party. Opposition parties did contest election but never managed to win. Means what is happening in Mexico? What happens in Mexico since 2000? Means all the elections are won by party called PRI. Means oppositions are also contesting election, but they are never able to win the election. Why? Why they are not able to win the election? Let's learn ahead. The PRI was known to use many dirty tricks to win elections. Mean PR party is using different types of dirty tricks to win elections. All those who are employed in government offices had to attend its party meetings. So whatsoever meetings were held by these PRI parties, all the government officers had it to attend their meetings. And teachers of government schools used to force parents to vote for the PRI. Means जो गवर्नमेंट के जो स्कूलों के जो टीचर्स थे वो भी अल्यूट करते थे, वो भी जो बच्चों के जो माता पिता हैं उन्हें PRI के लिए वोट करने के लिए कहते हैं. Media largely ignored the activities of opposition political parties except to criticize them. Means media is also controlled by PRI. Means media भी जो है वो PRI की बात करता है, and it also criticizes the activities of opposition political parties. Means they never appreciate the work of opposition parties, but they criticize their activities and they praise the activities of PRI. So in this way also they try to win the election. This party PRI tries to win the elections. Media is also ignoring the activities of opposition parties. So sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in the last minute, which made it difficult for people to cast their votes. Means at the last moment they shift the polling booths so that the members the voters who want to vote in their against, they won't be able to vote, and at the last moment they change or they shift the polling booths. So this is also unfair. Means the PRI spent a large sums of money in the campaign for its candidates. Means for campaigning they spend huge money or a large sum of money for their candidates. Should we consider the election described above as an example of people electing their rulers? Reading the examples we get a sense that we cannot. यानी हम इन्हें डेमोक्रेटिक कह सकते हैं? नहीं कह सकते. क्यों? There are many problems here. In China, the elections do not offer the people any serious choice. People do not have serious choice. Why? Only the members of Chinese Communist parties or allied to it can contest election. That's why the people are not enjoying any kind of serious choice, and they are not getting serious choice. They have to choose the ruling party and the candidates approved by it. Means they have no choice. What they have to do, they have to choose the ruling party or its candidates approved by it. Whatsoever members are approved by Chinese Communist parties, they have to elect them. In the Mexican example, people seem to really have a choice. Means opposition parties are allowed to contest election in Mexico, but in practice they had no choice. Why? There was no way the ruling party could be defeated. Means यहाँ कोई ऐसा तरीका ही नहीं है जिससे ruling party को हराया जा सके, and even if people were against it, these are not fair elections. So these elections cannot be called a fair election, cannot be called fair elections. As we have learned or as we have studied that they are using different types of dirty tricks and unfair means to win the elections. We can thus add a second feature to our understanding of democracy. Holding elections of any kind is not sufficient. Means election करवा लेना sufficient नहीं है. The elections must offer a real choice between political alternatives, and it should be possible for people to use this choice to remove the existing rulers. Means they may have choice to, if they do not like the rulers, they may have choice to क्या कर सके, उन्हें रिजेक्ट कर सकें, and so if they wish so a democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power have fair chance of losing. Means जो रूलिंग पार्टी हैं उनके भी हारने के चांसेस होने चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि हर बार वही चुने जाएं या उन्हीं से रिलेटेड जो पार्टीज़ के जो मेंबर्स हैं उन्हीं को ही चुना जा सके. अदर पार्टीज़ को भी मौका मिलना चाहिए और फेयर मौका मिलना चाहिए चुनाव लड़ने का और चुनाव जीतने का. So democracy must be based on a free and fair election where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. This is the second feature of democracy. We shall find out more about a democratic election, chapter 3. So next is now we learnt about the second feature of democracy. The third one is one person, one vote, one value. Let's learn this with example. What does it mean? One person, one vote, and the value of one vote should be equal, that is 1. Earlier we read about how the struggle for democracy was linked to the demand for universal adult franchise. Means people were demanding that they should be given equal right to vote, and there should not be any discrimination on the basis of caste, color or creed. All the people should enjoy equal rights. So that was called universal adult franchise. The principle has now come to be accepted almost all over the world, yet there are many instances of denial of equal right to vote. Means universal, the principle of universal adult franchise is applied, but yet there are many instances that can be given that where the denial of equal rights is there. Until 2015 in Saudi Arabian women did not have the right to vote. 2015 तक सऊदी अरेबियन की औरतों को वोट का अधिकार नहीं था. So can we call it a democratic way? No. In Estonia, what was happening in Estonia? Estonia has made its citizenship rules in such a way that people belonging to Russian minority find it difficult to get the right to vote. Means Estonia में क्या किया गया है? जो those who are the members or those who are the citizens of Estonia, they have made the rules in such a way that the people belonging to Russian minority, they find it difficult to get the right to vote. In Fiji, the electoral system is such that the vote of an indigenous Fiji has more value than that of Indian Fijian. Means जो Indian Fijian है उसकी अपेक्षा जो indigenous Fiji हैं उनके वोट की वैल्यू ज़्यादा होती है. यानी उनके वोट की वैल्यू डबल भी हो सकती है, 3 गुना भी हो सकती है. किसकी अपेक्षा? जो इंडियन फिजियन है उनकी अपेक्षा. So democracy is based on a fundamental principle of political equality. That this gives us the third feature of democracy. In a democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. So we gave you the examples of 3 countries. What is happening in Saudi Arabia? Women are not enjoying the right to vote, and in Estonia, Russian minority has no equal right to vote, and in Fiji, the indigenous Fijian has the value of their vote is more than the Indian Fijian. So it cannot be called a democratic way, because democratic way focuses on one person, one vote and one value. Means one person has right to vote, every person has right to vote, and the value of their vote should be equal. One vote means one value, and there should not be any kind of differences in their values. So the third feature of democracy, that each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. Rule of law and respect for rights. Next is rule of law and respect for rights. Zimbabwe attained independence from white minority rule in 1980. Since then, the country has been ruled by ZANU-PF, the party that led the freedom struggle. Its leader, Robert Mugabe, ruled the country since independence. Elections were held regularly and always won by ZANU-PF. President Mugabe was popular, but also used unfair practices in elections. Over the years, his government changed the constitution several times to increase the powers of the president and make him less accountable. Opposition party workers were harassed and their meetings disrupted. Public protests and demonstrations were against the government were declared illegal. There was a law that limited the right to criticize the president. Television and radio were controlled by the government and gave only the ruling party's version. There were independent newspapers, but the government harassed those journalists who went against it. The government ignored some court judgments that went against it, and press right judges. He was forced out of office in 2017. So what is there in example of Zimbabwe shows that what is happening there. Example of Zimbabwe shows that popular approval of the rulers is necessary in a democracy, and popular governments can be undemocratic, popular leaders can be autocratic. Means it doesn't mean the person who is popular or famous cannot be डिक्टेटर और ऑटोक्रेटिक। वो भी ऑटोक्रेटिक और डिक्टेटर हो सकता है। अगर कोई पर्सन पॉपुलर है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो डिक्टेटर या ऑटोक्रेटिक नहीं हो सकता। इफ वी विश टू असेस ए डेमोक्रेसी, इट इज़ इंपॉर्टेंट टू लुक एट द इलेक्शंस, बट इट इज़ इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट टू लुक बिफोर एंड आफ्टर द इलेक्शन। यानी कि ये इलेक्शंस की और उससे पहले क्या होता है और उसके बाद क्या होता है, इसे देखना भी बड़ा जरूरी है। देयर शुड बी सफिशिएंट रूम फॉर नॉर्मल पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविटी इंक्लूडिंग पॉलिटिकल opposition means in the period before elections what is happening. This requires that the state should respect some basic rights of the citizen. They should be free to think, to have opinions, and to express theirs in public, to form association, to protest and take other political actions. Means जो भी अपोजिशन है उन्हें ये सारे अधिकार मिलने चाहिए। लेकिन जिम्बाब्वे के अंदर क्या हो रहा था, हमेशा जो रॉबर्ट मुगाबे की जो पार्टी है जानू पीएफ ही चुनाव जीत रही थी, इलेक्शंस हो रहे थे। Although elections were held, yet all elections were won by the party ZANU-PF. And why he used the dirty tricks to win the elections? Because everything was controlled by ZANU-PF, party ZANU-PF. सो अपोजिशन पार्टीज वर्कर्स भी हरास्ट किए जाते थे, मीटिंग को डिस्टर्ब कर दिया जाता था, पब्लिक प्रोटेस्ट और जो डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन होते थे गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ उन्हें इलीगल घोषित कर दिया गया था। अगर कोई करता था तो उन्हें जेल में डाल दिया जाता था। और जो टेलीविज़न और रेडियोज थे उन्हें भी गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल कर रही थी। और अगर कोई भी रूलिंग पार्टीज़ के खिलाफ कुछ बोलता था तो उन्हें बोलने नहीं दिया जाता था। टेलीविज़न और रेडियो भी उनको कंट्रोल करता थे, यानी मीडिया भी इस पार्टी के द्वारा कंट्रोल किया गया था। इंडिपेंडेंट न्यूज़पेपर थे लेकिन उनके जर्नलिस्ट को धमकाया जाता था, परेशान किया जाता था, हरास्ट किया जाता था। और इवन उन्होंने जो कोर्ट की कुछ जजमेंट्स थी उनको भी इग्नोर कर दिया था। तो क्या हम इसे डेमोक्रेटिक वे कह सकते हैं? नहीं, हम इसे डेमोक्रेटिक वे नहीं कह सकते। दिस रिक्वायर्स दैट स्टेट शुड रिस्पेक्ट सम बेसिक राइट्स ऑफ द सिटीजन। दे शुड बी फ्री टू थिंक। उन्हें सोचने की आज़ादी होनी चाहिए, अपनी ओपिनियंस रखने की आज़ादी होनी चाहिए लोगों को। और टू फॉर्म एसोसिएशन एंड टू प्रोटेस्ट, यानी कि वहाँ प्रोटेस्ट करने की आज्ञा नहीं थी, यहाँ प्रोटेस्ट करने की आज्ञा मिलनी चाहिए। और एवरी वन शुड बी इक्वल इन द आइज ऑफ लॉ। कानून के समक्ष सब समान होने चाहिए, कोई चाहे राजा है, चाहे वो रंक है, चाहे कोई भी है, सबको इक्वल राइट्स मिलने चाहिए। दीज राइट्स मस्ट बी प्रोटेक्टेड बाय एन इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशरी हुज ऑर्डर्स आर ओबेड बाय एवरीवन। यानी कि जुडिशरी इसकी रक्षा करे और जिसके ऑर्डर सब फॉलो करें, चाहे कोई राजा है, चाहे कोई भिखारी है, सब लोग उसको फॉलो करें। चाहे गरीब है, अमीर है, सब किसी भी तरह का कोई भेदभाव नहीं होना चाहिए। जो रूल सबके लिए है वो सबके लिए लागू होना चाहिए। वी शैल read about more these rights in chapter 5. Similarly, there are some conditions that apply to the way of government is run after the elections. A democratic government cannot do whatever it likes simply because it has won an election. It has to respect some basic rules. यानी कि चुनाव जीतने के बाद भी ये शक्तियाँ नहीं होनी चाहिए कि जो भी अब मन में आए वो करे। मीन्स they should not rule like a dictator. They should work according to the wishes of the people. and कोई भी जो डिसीजन है गवर्नमेंट का वो लोगों को प्रभावित करने वाला नहीं होना चाहिए, उनके ऊपर नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट डालने वाला नहीं होना चाहिए, उनकी वेलफेयर के लिए होना चाहिए। सो एवरी मेजर डिसीजन हैज़ टू गो थ्रू ए सीरीज ऑफ कंसल्टेशंस। कोई भी डिसीजन लिया जाता है तो उसे विचार मर्श करके ही लिया जाना चाहिए। एवरी ऑफिस बीरर हैज़ सर्टेन राइट्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज साइंड बाय द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। कोई भी जो ऑफिस बीरर है उसको भी जिम्मेवारियाँ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में दी गई हैं, अधिकार दिए गए हैं और उन्हें कानून के अकॉर्डिंग ही काम करना होता है। ईच ऑफ दिस इज अकाउंटेबल नॉट ओनली टू द पीपल बट आल्सो टू द अदर इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफिशियल्स। सो वी शैल रीड मोर अबाउट इन चैप्टर 4. Both these aspects give us the fourth and final feature of democracy. What is that? Our democratic government rules within limits set by constitutional law and citizen rights. Means a democratic government has to work within their limit, and whatsoever limits have been maintained by constitutions, or they have to work under law and citizens rights. In this way we have learned about the features of democracy. In next we are going to learn about the different parts of democracy, and we will define in more details democracy. सो ये आपकी फीचर्स हैं तो इनको आपने लर्न करना है, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है। आपसे पूछा जा सकता है व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी, एंड गिव डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ डेफिनेशंस गिवन बाय डिफरेंट पीपल, डिफरेंट स्कॉलर्स, and what are the features of democracy. This is the most important question of this chapter. What are the features of democracy? तो ये आपने लर्न करना है, लिखना है, राइट एंड लर्न द MCQ वन वर्ड क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, वेरी शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, ट्रू फॉल्स एंड शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर, फीचर्स ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. Thanks and have a nice day.